All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about the pullback we all saw coming in the cryptocurrency markets. Let's get straight into it. As always, we'll quickly go over each topic that we're going to be discussing, and we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, of course, TradingView got a lot of price action talk today. We will be spending the majority of this video on the charts. So we'll talk Bitcoin, we'll talk Ether, we'll talk ChainLink, and for the first time on this channel, we're going to be covering Cardano. Okay, so we will, of course, cover price action. In news to absolutely none of you at this point, cryptocurrency, the entire market as a whole has been shedding billions of dollars. We have seen a pullback over the past couple of days, which again was to be expected. We've been calling this for a minute now. So excited to talk to you guys about downside price targets, upside price targets for the first time in a while, which is exciting as well. And yeah, just talk shop with you guys. So of course, we will spend the majority of our time on the charts today. Once again, going down the watch list, talking each of these big names in the crypto markets. All right. And then we have one article. We'll actually kick the video off with this once we actually get into it. Okay, so this article I want to bring up with this beautiful dramatic artwork. It is titled $150 billion wiped off cryptocurrency market in 24 hours as Bitcoin pulls back by CNBC. So there's a couple reasons I wanted to touch on this article specifically. One, because it's CNBC, and this just highlights how mainstream media and a lot of these headlines, a lot of these headline chasers really do play into kind of the psyche of the crypto markets. Okay, so the reason I want to talk about this primarily is not to cover the fact that we are seeing a correction, but how this affects the psyche of investors, of newer traders, of people who are just getting into crypto, and how we've seen this in the past, like 2017. It's 2017 all over again. So we've seen this before. I want to talk to you guys about what this means to me personally and how I kind of dictate some of this stuff. All right, so that is Bitcoin. Again, we will be spending the far majority of the time on the chart today, just talking price action, just getting down to business. But at the end of the video, if you guys do want to stick around, which of course I will appreciate it, I want to talk to you guys about a new feature, a new staking feature that our partners over at apollofintech have just recently implemented to their gold-backed cryptocurrency GSX. Super exciting, you guys. If you guys happen to watch that video of me covering GSX a few weeks back, it's this video right here titled Gold-Backed Cryptocurrency, the perfect investment for 2021. I think this project is super cool. You guys know I'm bullish. I'm a long-term bull on precious metals. I'm obviously bullish on crypto. So this is a very cool company to me. They just implemented a staking feature, which is what we'll go over too. So we will learn what staking is, do a little class time, little education here, because staking, in my personal opinion, we will cover more in the future, of course, but staking, I think, in this new 2021 bull market is going to play a big part. So proof of stake, cryptocurrencies that are built on proof of stake blockchains, I think will do very well over the course of this year. So we'll learn what staking is. We'll get into this, and yeah, again, if you guys don't want to stick around for that, it's perfectly fine. But again, I would appreciate it if you did. That said, before we dive into the charts and that article, I will ask you guys, as always, to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and of course, check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter, first link down in the description. If you want a complete breakdown, entire portfolio, update that every single trading day during market hours. With every update, I do also send out a daily newsletter, also during market hours, explaining my thoughts. So talking through all the trades. This morning, for example, again, we're just covering crypto in this, but this morning covered riot and Mar, covered Moderna, covered some biotechs, covered a new exciting EV play. I shouted out ALYI. That's a tongue twister right there. But again, that is kind of foreshadowing what's to come. I will cover some of these exciting plays over the week, focusing on crypto today. But if you guys want that day-to-day update of what stocks are exciting me, cannabis, of course, cannabis did very well today. So again, if you're interested in that, first link in the description. Really appreciate it if you check it out as well. But of course, if not, no worries at all. Let's get into this article and then hop into the charts. All right. So once again, CNBC, probably the most mainstream finance-related media outlet out there. Okay, so 150 billion wiped off cryptocurrency market in 24 hours as Bitcoin pulls back. Again, I want to talk to you guys kind of about the psyche of this quick and just how this is a necessary part. Like corrections are a necessary part. You're going to be seeing these headlines, these scare tactic headlines. Cryptocurrency market, I think Bloomberg posted something this morning, which is also obviously a very mainstream media outlet. Bitcoin cryptocurrency market shed billions of dollars, like fears of 2017 or like memories of 2017 plague investors again. So just be cautious about all this, you guys. There's going to be a lot of FUD. There's going to be a lot of negative headlines just like this, a lot of negative articles, because this was the third most read article. Like just scrolling down here, you guys can see on CNBC's website, trending is number 4 is this. Okay, so Keep in mind, you guys, this is a bull market, but it's also a FOMO, very hype-driven rally. And it's just important to keep in mind, again, get psychological. You have to apply game theory to some of this stuff, all right? So let's quickly go over these key points and then hop straight into the charts, all right? Bitcoin and other digital coins tanked on Monday, wiping off some $150 billion from the entire cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency, fell over 10% from a day earlier to $34,200, according to coinmarketcap data. The sell-off in cryptocurrencies comes after a huge rally and perhaps signals some profit taking from investors. So again, you guys, we just talked about this over the course of this weekend in that crypto convo in yesterday's stock watch video. Investors, the whales, the money, the market makers are going to want to start taking profits. When you have billions of dollars tied up in an asset and this thing is going parabolic, it's going to the moon, it's only responsible to take profits. Okay, so this is a lot of large investors, a lot of whales, once again, taking profits. When they take profits, that does again, it doesn't completely dictate price action, but it definitely dictates direction. Okay, so again, you guys, just be mindful of this. Don't let it scare you off. Want to make it very clear, as always, that I'm very, very long-term bullish on Bitcoin from a fundamental perspective. But that doesn't mean that corrections aren't a healthy part of every bull market. So let's get into the charts here and talk this correction. As you guys can see here, as we covered briefly yesterday, we'll go a little more in depth in this one. Beginning January 9th, a little later in the day, Bitcoin started to fall off a cliff, and we finally saw that correction. Shout out to the Waves fam. If any of you remember, let me know down below. Drop a comment down below. I think a few weeks back, close to New Year's, we called for that January 10th correction, roughly. And again, we were a little early on that one, like Riot and Mara, you guys, we were off a little bit, but do want to celebrate this one. We timed this one out almost perfectly, so that always feels good. Again, not to brag, but it's just a testament to putting hours and hours into your craft, all right? So we've been seeing that pullback. Bitcoin went from a high of 42,000 down to a low earlier this morning at about 30,000. So let's do a quick price range on that and see what pullback, see what percentage that pulled back to. Okay, so we saw almost a 30% correction. Okay, so that's what I've been saying, you guys. These things can happen so fast. Like, as fast as they can go up, they come down even faster. All right, so we saw some crazy red candles. The first pretty significant sell-off of this bull market, once again, especially this 2021 bull market. So 30% correction, very standard, coming all the way down to 30K, which was one of the initial price targets I had. But the thing here is, this candle did not come down completely to test any of these trend lines, which makes me believe we will continue to go down further. We're seeing a bounce now, a dead cat bounce, in my opinion. So dead cat bounce, you see a sharp move, sharp move down, followed by an even sharper, more sporadic move up, followed by a pretty steady trend down. So I believe after this, we are kind of printing a head and shoulders pattern. Just a hint to all of you guys today, Riot and Mara, we're printing pretty textbook head and shoulders patterns on the short-term time frames this morning. Again, sorry, we're not going to cover those, but just wanted to let you guys know the crypto market does, again, it's all one big ecosystem. They all do hold some semblance of correlation to each other. Okay, so head and shoulders, left shoulder, head coming down. This is going to be a steeper right shoulder, but I still believe it's going to play out similarly to what all of you know as a traditional head and shoulders pattern. Again, left shoulder, head, right shoulder will probably resolve around this area. I hate not doing my videos in one take, but my screen recorder just crashed, so I apologize for having to splice this one together. That said, we're going to pick up right where we left off, talking Bitcoin, completing this head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so left shoulder, head, right shoulder. I ultimately think it's probably not going to be a straight move down, but I do still ultimately believe this pullback will be resolved over the course of 7 to 10 days, and we will come down to this area that we used as a very significant ceiling back in December, spanning all the way from December 16th to the 24th. So over a week, we spent a lot of time right underneath this area around 24,000 and use that as a significant ceiling prior to Bitcoin's straight up parabolic breakout. Okay. So again, what was a strong previous area of resistance will be new support. That is TA 101 right there. And again, that is the first high we set on this rally. So it's very common also for Bitcoin to revisit its initial high. It's the initial high of its current rally in a pullback, in a corrective state prior to resuming that overall uptrend. Okay, so again, my first price target, as I'm sure you guys assume in the yellow right here, is around this area at about 28,000. So There's a few reasons for that. That coincides nicely with the first point of contact on this uptrend. So this line of resistance that I've drawn that I do believe will come into play after we resolve this correction and see a confirmed reversal. I'll just say it right now. My price target on the upside, once we do start ripping up again, is just under $60,000, around 58.5. Okay, so I'll talk about that now. We'll of course talk about that when we come to that bridge, when we cross that bridge. Whatever, I scuffed that saying, but you guys know what I'm talking about. That said, still in a pullback, still I believe gonna play out this more medium-term head and shoulders pattern, and it probably will time out similarly to how this played out. Okay, so this left shoulder from like here, which was on January 1st, to the top here, which was January 7th. That is 7 days. Again, just intuitively, just seeing a lot of bubbles play out over time, you guys. I do expect this entire, like not only Bitcoin, but the entire cryptocurrency market, because we've ripped for like a month, I think this pullback will last at least a week. Pullbacks are usually unfold a lot faster than the price rises and the price appreciation. But that said, again, my first price target is around this first peak that set this initial high on this line of resistance on the short-term rally up. That would take us to about 28,000. I'm personally comfortable accumulating Bitcoin at 28,000, but I'm still fairly confident in the fact that we will ultimately resolve this this short-term pullback, ultimately by coming down to about 24,000. So I'm very comfortable buying Bitcoin at 24,000, increasing my current positions, reestablishing the full aspects of some of my positions. Shout out to the newsletter fam, you guys know what I'm talking about there. But again, like full price target, I doubt will come all the way back down to 20K in all honesty, but I'm personally very, very comfortable accumulating Bitcoin at 24,000. Okay, and again, we can talk about this price target, this topside price target once we get around to it. But let's move on here. Let's get into Ether. Okay, so Ether is seeing a pretty significant pullback as well right now. Of course, let's see what the pullback is right here from the top to the bottom. I believe Ether reached like 1350. Where are we? Sorry, it's this one, you guys. I just had this. My bad. Okay, so from top at 1350, yeah, 1350, we're getting real close to all-time highs here, guys, to 913. That is a 32.5% correction. Again, you guys, because we've ripped so hard, because we're up hundreds of percent on some of these plays, this is nothing out of the ordinary, guys. So as I just covered, I believe in Saturday's video on the crypto convo, where we were talking, I believe this area would come into play right here. You can see it kind of coming into play as we were pulling back. You saw 2 4-hour candles bounce almost perfectly off that come up, ultimately break back into this ascending channel that Ether has been in for a very long time. It's more medium term ascending channel beginning December 9th. It's currently in there. It's currently broken out. So it's not currently in there. It did dip in there for a little bit, but it's currently back outside of it. I do still think, you guys, we will see another move down. Ether, because it went up more sporadically than Bitcoin, beginning on the first of the year, kicking off 2021 with an absolute bang. So Ether went from 744 to, again, 1350, which is almost a 2x. You're looking at almost 100% appreciation. So again, a 30 to 40% correction is not out of the cards. I wouldn't be surprised if Ether comes down to test this area, and that is the ultimate area where Ether, I'd be comfortable personally. I will move this back down here, explain what this is quickly, but Ether, I would be personally comfortable picking up Ether, again, because it's not at all-time highs yet, unlike Bitcoin. I do think altcoins are going to start to see some love. I would be comfortable picking up Ether once it tests the bottom side of this channel. I think that's probably where it'll bottom out and then start to see that reversal that we will be talking about right after this. And that would take us to about $920. Okay, so we almost got there just today. We actually got below that today at 910. So again, you guys, because this chart's so steep, these angles are going to be steep. Wherever they choose to touch the trend lines is going to be a fairly significant price difference. But it's important not to get greedy at times like this. Whenever things are pulling back, don't try to catch the bottom. Like catching the tops, it's hard to catch tops. It's equally as hard to catch bottoms. So if you're in a range where you feel comfortable accumulating, then you probably do it if you believe in the fundamentals long term, like I do personally. So again, because I'm expecting Ether to pull back to about 920, I'd honestly be pretty comfortable accumulating right now. Like, I do believe, of course, Ether is going to be way higher than it is at the end of this year. But again, as a swing trader, I'm trying to do my best to optimize profits and make content for you guys and share my thoughts with you guys as well. Okay, so Ether, I believe Ether will probably come down to about $950, $920. At that point, I'll be comfortable accumulating. Similar to Bitcoin, I do believe this short-term trend line. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to bang through this one. Short-term trend line will come back into play once we see that reversal, once we confirm the reversal off of the pullback, and that would take us to, say we hit it January 21st, January 22nd, where the end of this trend line I drew was. That would take us to a $1,740 Ether, all-time highs. I think Ether is due for a round. I think altcoin season could be right around the corner. And we will be talking about altcoin season more and more, okay? So Ether, top side price target, 1740. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Bottom side price target, I'd be comfortable accumulating Ether personally at about $920. ChainLink, again, getting into those altcoins, getting into alt season. So ChainLink really dancing around this, again, what was like the most textbook ascending channel I've ever seen in my years of trading. Beautiful ascending channel, dipped below it for a little bit, back above it, broke out of it briefly when everything else was topping out. But keep in mind, you guys, ChainLink is still below its all-time highs as well that it just set earlier this year. ChainLink absolutely ripped earlier this year all the way up to a high of $20. I think it's very likely that we could see at least a $100 ChainLink by the end of this cycle. Keep in mind, guys, I bought Ether at like $45 back in 2017 and it went all the way up to $1,400. Okay, so altcoins, if you pick the right one, the returns can be absolutely insane. And I think ChainLink can definitely, because I like ChainLink as a company, I believe in the Oracle solution that ChainLink provides. I really like ChainLink both fundamentally and technically. Okay, so ChainLink currently at the bottom of what was once and still is honestly a very strong ascending channel. Although it's broken out and above and below at certain points in time, it usually spends the majority of its time. It spent the majority of time over the past few months in this channel. It's currently inside of it, and ChainLink I think could see a short sporadic move up to once again test the top side of this channel. So because it's back in here, we might fall below it just because the rest of the cryptocurrency market is of course falling, is correcting. But I do ultimately think this is a very safe play if you're at the bottom of a channel. Keep in mind, you guys, this is not financial or investment advice. I think this is a safe play personally, but who knows? We could, again, like I just said, we could continue to tank. So ChainLink, I do think we could come up to, like, very easily come up to test the top side of this channel. That would take us to about $18.40 per ChainLink token, per link token. And again, I do ultimately believe that at some point in the near future, when we see this next leg up after the short-term correction, ChainLink will go on to set new all-time highs. All right, so that is ChainLink. Let's close it out quickly with Cardano ADA. Sorry, I'm talking so fast, you guys. We just had that little mess up with the screen recording, so that threw me off in all honesty. And I got to get home because we have a family meeting. We're going to watch the college playoffs, so please forgive me for that. But I had to get this content to you guys, had to get that daily video out there, all right? So again, please forgive me for just rambling and stepping all over my words today. So Cardano, again, a play that we've never covered on this channel. I've obviously, being in this space for so long, Cardano has been on my radar for a very long time. I have kept a close eye on Cardano. I just never really got the project. I know a lot of people love Cardano. Please let me know down below if you like Cardano, if you want me to cover it more. I've personally never been the biggest fan, but that's because I've never really done extensive research on it. Maybe it's a very cool project. Please, you guys, educate me if you guys really like Cardano. But I figured there are some of you, I do see it in the comments. I do get a lot of questions about it, so I figured I'd cover it and just hopefully get some feedback from you guys on what you personally think about Cardano. Okay, so Cardano is looking pretty good short term. So Cardano actually corrected very significantly. Let's take a quick price range on this. So from its peak at about 35.5 cents down to its low, we're looking at a 35% correction. So similar to a lot of other altcoins, but Cardano is actually in kind of this wedge pattern. And short term, I think Cardano could actually see a more significant bounce than a lot of the other cryptocurrency tokens out there, just because it has set this downtrend right here. So Cardano obviously is setting this downtrend, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bounce in Cardano, maybe all the way up to test this. But again, because the entire cryptocurrency market is correcting, I'm not going to say that's super likely. What looks good for me what looks good in my eyes from Cardano is the fact that we see this candle right here, one of these just over the past few hours, test this first high before Cardano absolutely ripped up from like 22 cents all the way up to 35 cents. So crazy percentage gain right there. It did come down, technically bounced off this initial high prior to popping off, which means we could see this bounce up. I would not be surprised at all to see Cardano come and bounce all the way up, which is a significant bounce all the way back up to 33 cents. But I do ultimately think we will correct probably all the way back down as we zoom out to this area, to this red line right here, prior to continuing again what is going to be a very significant rally. A lot of people love Cardano. I believe at the time of recording, it's the 7th largest cryptocurrency. So I know, again, that's why I'm covering it. A lot of people love Cardano, and I should get more educated on it, which I will. I will maybe make a Cardano specific analysis in the future. But again, you guys, I just wanted to throw this out there, give you guys some of my quick thoughts on the charts in case you guys were interested, okay? So Cardano, again, could bounce up. I do ultimately think we will resolve around this area. You take this initial high right here from this rally in mid-November, this touch point here, this touch point over a month later on December 29th, creating a very, very conservative uptrend in line of what will be support. So if we bounce off this, I do think it is likely that we will come ultimately down here, retest this initial high prior, like the real initial high prior to this parabolic rally, which would coincide pretty closely to this trend line, to this long-term line of resistance, which will be new line of support on this more medium-term uptrend, okay? So if we do see that play out, again, maybe bounce up here, but I do ultimately think over the course of the next 7 to 10 days, which I will reiterate, that's how long I think this crypto pullback will take to play out. I think we can get down to about 20 cents. Okay, so 0.205 USD is the ultimate low-term price target for Cardano. And at that point, after I do more research, maybe I'll consider establishing a position if we can get to those levels. Okay, so again, I hope you guys like that. I hope you guys were able to get some value out of this. And yeah, let's get into this GSX review. Once again, if you guys, I would really appreciate it. I do obviously think this is a cool project. If you guys haven't watched this video, I recommend you do, because I went over what Apollo is, what apollofintech is. They're the company behind the GSX token, behind this gold-backed cryptocurrency. And again, because I'm a long-term gold, silver, precious metals bull, and I'm definitely a crypto bull, as all of you know, I think this is a very cool project, and I'm stoked to be partnered with them, and I want to share this new feature, this new staking feature with you guys, okay? So we'll move down here and go to this quick stake. So it's very easy. If you guys, for any of you guys who already have an Apollo wallet or a GSX account, this will be right on your homepage. Stake your GSX for up to a 30% return. So before we get into this at all, let's talk about what staking is. So this is a Coinbase article. Coinbase, and of all the articles I looked up, just brief explanations of what staking is. This one's really, really short, sweet, and to the point. So that's exactly what I wanted to do for you guys. Get a nice, quick, drop some knowledge in here real quick. So what is staking? Staking is a process of actively participating in transaction validation, similar to mining on a proof-of-stake blockchain. On these blockchains, anyone with a minimum required balance of a specific cryptocurrency can validate transactions and earn staking rewards. So staking is pretty much if you hold your crypto, hold a crypto that works on proof of stake. Again, like Riot and Mara are Bitcoin miners. When a cryptocurrency is built on a proof of stake blockchain, that's pretty much when you just hold that cryptocurrency in a wallet and keep it running, it does the exact same that all those mining machines do for that blockchain. Okay, so it validates the blockchain by just you holding a certain amount, the minimum required amount of that cryptocurrency in your wallet. All right. So how does staking work? When the minimum balance is met, a node deposits that amount of cryptocurrency into the network as a stake, similar to a security deposit. The size of a stake is directly proportional to the chances of that node being chosen to forge the next block. If the node successfully creates a block, the validator receives a reward similar to how a miner is rewarded in proof of work chains. So Bitcoin, proof of work chain, you need those miners to validate the blockchain. Proof of stake, if you just have enough tokens and keep that wallet running, then that does the exact same thing. Okay, so it's very efficient. It's actually, again, that's why I think these proof of stake blockchains and cryptos built on POS blockchains are going to play a very significant role in the future of cryptocurrencies. Validators lose part of their stake if they double sign or attempt to attack the network. So we're not going to get into that right now. Let's talk about this real quick. But again, you guys, just quickly going over some of the numbers. Actually, you know what? We'll download the PDF because those numbers are right in here anyway. apollofintech, I've always loved this logo right here. Gold secured currency, the world's first growth coin. So what is staking? Again, you guys don't need to know that because we just covered it. How do I benefit? In the case of gold secured currency, there are 3 staking contracts you can enter. 1 year locked up. Upon the contract expiry of these locked coins, you will get 10% reward of the staked amount. 2 years, you get 20%, and 3 years, you get 30%. How do I stake my GSX? Staking your GSX is very simple. For each of the 3 offered contracts, there will be a public wallet address. You'll be required to send your GSX coins to the associated wallet address before the deadline date and time. Okay, so these actually, The deadline is January 15th, which is why I wanted to make this kind of ASAP. That's at the end of the week. So if you guys are interested in this, of course, you guys, this is not financial advice. Although I like this project, it doesn't mean it's for you. Please go watch this video I made, again, talking about what Apollo is, what GSX is, and of course, do your own research. Check out their website. I recommend this for literally everything we ever talk about. Always do your own research to know if it's for you, and always make your own decisions, okay? Again, just because I think it's cool doesn't mean it is objectively cool. It's just my opinion. Upon sending your GSX to one of the following addresses, the same amount of the corresponding return currency will be sent back to the wallet that sent these contract funds. All right, so you pretty much, if you do have GSX already, you just send it to one of these, whichever of these addresses you want to lock it up in. You want 1 year for 10%, 2 years 20%, 3 years for 30. It's up to you. Obviously, you're incentivized to stay to keep it in there for longer because the return is greater. So 30% over 3 years is pretty solid, or 30% a year over the course of 3 years is very solid. Like, as far as interest rates go, that is pretty impressive. So again, the kicker here is you can't withdraw it. You cannot withdraw it. If you send your GSX to this address, you cannot withdraw that for 3 years. Your GSX will be worth significantly more at that point because obviously you're getting that 30% pretty much annual return off your GSX being staked, but you cannot withdraw it. So keep that in mind. If you do this, you cannot withdraw it. That's a very important thing to understand when you're staking, okay? It is locked up. That's why it's called a 3-year lockup. Sending GSX. How do I send my GSX to the required staking address? Inside your Apollo wallet, navigate to currencies, my currencies, click on the transfer button beside your GSX options. So again, you guys, this is pretty, just go look at this file for yourself if you're interested in this. I'm not going to talk you through this. I know you're all competent and smart enough to do this. So it's straight up, again, if you send cryptocurrencies, just choose one of these wallet addresses and you'll figure out how to send your GSX to one of these addresses. Again, if you do want to engage in this. Once again, guys, before I close it out, do your own research on this. Again, I think it's a cool project. I can't say whether or not, just legally, if I am participating in this or not, but I think you guys know what I'm doing there. I do have a pretty significant amount of GSX, so looking forward to trying this out and seeing what it's about for myself, maybe. But again, if you guys are interested, I'll drop the link down in the description. You do get a 5% bonus of GSX when you buy it, plus a bonus because I know they're always doing bonuses. So where's the... I'm not going to go into that now. Again, you guys watch this video I made. I don't want this to run on too long, but watch this video to actually understand what GSX is. Definitely, if you haven't watched this video, definitely don't do anything until you watch this video, or of course do your own research because you're all perfectly competent individuals. Okay, so I appreciate you sticking around. If for some reason you still happen to be here, I truly appreciate you. And yeah, let me know what you thought about any of the stocks or any of the cryptocurrencies we talked about today. If you're excited about ADA, if you personally hold ADA, please drop some knowledge on what ADA is, why you like it personally, and yeah, I'll look into it more for myself. And of course, BTC, ETH, Link, all plays I've been bullish on for a very long time. So yeah, drop a comment down below. Look forward to talking to you guys downstairs. And until next time, I got to go watch some football. So I'll catch you next time. Until then, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.